Every once in a while, a machine comes along that flips expectations on their head, not because it breaks the rules, but because it rewrites what those rules even mean. This one is different. It is not trying to blend in, it is designed to prove a point. Built with numbers that seem almost unrealistic, yet crafted by people who have spent decades perfecting the art of balance, control, and speed, it represents something bold, a statement of engineering pride and technological ambition. What happens when raw power meets relentless precision? When an icon, long known for its thunderous presence, transforms into a weapon of pure aerodynamic focus? That question has pulled enthusiasts, skeptics, and dreamers into one conversation. A conversation about how far performance can really go when heritage meets innovation at full throttle. This story dives deep into that evolution, from the first design sketches to the global stage where it intends to take on the best. Stick around, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on which performance legend you want to see featured next. The 2025 Ford Mustang GTD enters the scene with more than just power, it carries a mission. For decades, the Mustang has symbolized American muscle, a loud and unapologetic expression of speed for the masses. But the Mustang GTD changes that image completely. This car is not about nostalgia or simple straight-line bravado. It is about precision, sophistication, and a bold attempt to challenge the European hierarchy on their home circuits. Ford engineers have pulled from their racing playbook, taking lessons from the GT3 program and translating them into a machine that can be driven on the street yet feels born for the track. From its carbon fiber skin to the layout of its transaxle, every inch of the Mustang GTD serves performance. The front carries aggressive venting and splitter geometry, channeling airflow with race-bred logic. The rear end looks ready to pin the car to the tarmac, its active wing and diffuser setup signaling intent rather than decoration. Underneath it all lies a reimagined structure, a commitment to balance and low center of gravity that shows Ford is not aiming for a typical sports car feel but a full-blown racing experience adapted for public roads. The Mustang GTD is motivated by a 5.2-liter supercharged V8 that revs beyond 8,000 revolutions per minute, a sound that blends fury with refinement. It is hand-assembled, carefully tuned, and linked to an 8-speed dual-clutch transaxle mounted in the rear for ideal weight distribution. This architecture transforms how the car behaves through corners, maintaining traction and composure at high load. The goal is not just straight-line acceleration but stability under braking, confidence at turn-in, and the ability to sustain that delicate edge between grip and slide that defines true performance cars. Yet, the Mustang GTD is not a stripped-down track shell. It integrates luxury materials, advanced telemetry, and adjustable suspension that can soften for street comfort or tighten for lap time efficiency. Inside, every detail communicates intent. The steering wheel's weight, the seating position, and the visibility have been engineered to put the driver in the ideal posture for both road cruising and precision driving. Even the digital displays adjust depending on the selected mode, shifting focus from entertainment to data as the car transforms from grand tourer to track weapon. Ford's engineers wanted to prove that technology could elevate tradition, that the spirit of the Mustang could evolve without losing its soul. They studied airflow through computational models, refining every curve for function. The GTD's body is less about styling trends and more about the pursuit of downforce. The hood scoops are heat extractors, the fenders guide air toward cooling ducts, and the massive rear wing adjusts in real time to balance aerodynamic load. It is not just powerful, it is intelligent, reactive, and purposeful. But the Mustang GTD's arrival also marks a philosophical shift. Historically, the Mustang was about accessibility, it was attainable excitement. The GTD challenges that narrative with its price tag north of $300,000, placing it in the same territory as the world's top performance icons. That move sparked debate. Some fans questioned whether the Mustang name should venture into this ultra-premium space. Others saw it as a necessary evolution, proof that American engineering can compete head-to-head with European excellence. Both sides have a point. The Mustang GTD forces a conversation about what defines the brand's identity. Is it volume and nostalgia, or innovation and dominance? The answer may lie in how this car performs when tested in the real world. Ford has hinted at Nürburgring lap times targeting under 7 minutes, a feat that would place the GTD among the fastest road cars ever built. Achieving that would require not only power but balance, cooling efficiency, and relentless grip. It is the kind of goal that demands perfection in every subsystem, from the aerodynamics to the electronics. Engineers describe the GTD as a demonstration project, a bridge between endurance racing and street driving. It showcases the technology pipeline from the Ford GT3 car that competes globally. The suspension uses pushrod geometry, allowing extreme adjustability and packaging efficiency. The brakes are carbon ceramic for fade resistance, the tires are bespoke compounds, and the software integrates predictive logic to anticipate load changes before they happen. The entire package feels like a science experiment in motion, built to validate what American design can achieve under competitive pressure. Yet the emotional aspect remains strong. When you hear the 5.2-liter engine awaken, it retains that unmistakable tone that defined the Mustang lineage. It is not an imitation of European refinement. It is something raw, distinctive, and proud. That sound connects decades of car culture, from street racing legends to modern track enthusiasts. The GTD respects its roots while aiming for the clouds. And the stakes are enormous. If it succeeds, it changes how global enthusiasts view American performance. If it fails, critics will say Ford overreached. But either way, it has already made an impact by daring to exist. The Mustang GTD invites comparison, competition, and conversation. It also forces rivals to rethink how they define exclusivity and purpose. As this project unfolds, the next step is understanding how Ford achieved this transformation from concept to production. The technology is impressive, but the story behind its creation reveals even more about why this car matters. That is where the journey leads next, to the core of what makes the Mustang GTD not just another supercar, but a declaration of intent. The 2025 Ford Mustang GTD was never meant to be a simple project, it was a calculated risk driven by ambition. Inside Ford's performance division, the idea took shape as an answer to a question: how do you build a car that carries the Mustang soul yet speaks the language of precision engineering? The Mustang GTD became that answer. Its creation began not in a boardroom, but in simulation labs and wind tunnels. Engineers and designers worked side by side, iterating constantly on airflow, weight distribution, and mechanical packaging. Every surface of the Mustang GTD was tested for efficiency, every component was chosen for purpose. The process mirrors motorsport development, where data drives design and failure is just another experiment toward success. The Mustang GTD's body panels are crafted from carbon fiber, reducing mass while increasing stiffness. The front splitter, hood, roof, doors, and rear quarter sections were all sculpted to manage airflow and cooling. The result is not just a lighter car, but one that behaves predictably under aerodynamic pressure. Ford learned from endurance racing that consistency under stress matters more than peak numbers. That philosophy guided every design choice. Even the underbody is fully enclosed, shaping airflow to reduce turbulence and drag. The car's ride height can adjust automatically, dropping in track mode to enhance stability. The Mustang GTD uses advanced active aerodynamics. The rear wing and flaps continuously adapt to throttle input, steering angle, and braking force. These systems communicate in real time through a network of sensors and processors, turning the car into a living, reactive machine. When it attacks a corner, the aerodynamics stiffen the body's posture. When it accelerates down a straight, drag reduces to unleash top speed. This symphony of engineering makes the Mustang GTD unlike any road-going Ford ever built. The heart of the Mustang GTD is its 5.2-liter supercharged V8, the most advanced engine ever placed in a Mustang. It produces immense power, but what truly matters is how it delivers it. The flat-plane crankshaft configuration allows rapid revs and linear power delivery, creating a connection between throttle and motion that feels instantaneous. Cooling is managed through large radiators and auxiliary heat exchangers, all strategically placed to maintain balance and efficiency. Ford's engineers worked to ensure that every component operates under optimal conditions, even during sustained track sessions. Power flows through a carbon fiber driveshaft to the rear-mounted transaxle, creating near-perfect weight distribution. This architecture not only enhances grip but also allows the suspension to operate with surgical precision. Speaking of suspension, the pushrod setup borrowed from racing technology is a defining feature. It allows for immense tuning flexibility, spring rates, damping curves, and ride heights can all be tailored. For street use, the car softens its response, absorbing imperfections. For track use, it becomes razor-sharp, transmitting every texture of the pavement. The Mustang GTD's braking system complements this setup. Carbon ceramic rotors, combined with multi-piston calipers, offer relentless stopping power with minimal fade. Even under repeated high-speed deceleration, pedal feel remains consistent. This system is calibrated to provide confidence, not just brute force, allowing drivers to brake later and carry speed through corners. Inside the cabin, the Mustang GTD merges racing focus with modern comfort. Lightweight materials dominate, Alcantara, carbon fiber, and titanium accents surround the driver. The seating position is low, creating a sense of unity with the chassis. The digital interface presents key information such as tire temperature, lap timing, and G-force metrics. Yet the car still offers everyday functionality. Air conditioning, infotainment, and safety systems are intact, maintaining a sense of usability despite its extreme nature. The philosophy behind the interior is not luxury for its own sake but precision ergonomics. Every control exists where it should be, minimizing distraction. Ford wanted drivers to feel empowered, not overwhelmed. What makes the Mustang GTD fascinating is the level of global collaboration behind it. Development teams from the United States and Europe worked in tandem, combining different schools of engineering thought. The European influence is visible in the chassis tuning and aerodynamics, while the American side provided the character, torque, and unfiltered excitement. Together, these philosophies created something unique, a car that bridges continents while maintaining a clear identity. The testing process for the Mustang GTD was as rigorous as its design. Prototypes were run on Ford's proving grounds under extreme heat and cold, simulating thousands of miles of abuse. Then came the Nürburgring, the ultimate test bed. Engineers used that demanding circuit to fine-tune every system. The data collected shaped the suspension calibration, tire compounds, and aerodynamic maps. The Nürburgring target time became both a technical benchmark and a symbolic goal. To achieve a sub-7-minute lap, everything had to work in perfect harmony. This target is not about bragging rights, it is a validation of concept, proof that American engineering can rival the best. Achieving it would represent decades of progress, from early muscle cars to modern high-performance hybrids of technology and tradition. The Mustang GTD's path to production also highlights Ford's willingness to rethink its manufacturing process. Specialized facilities handle assembly, allowing for hand-built precision. Each engine is individually tested, ensuring consistent performance. Quality control protocols mirror motorsport standards, where tolerances are microscopic and accountability is absolute. This approach demonstrates Ford's understanding that building a supercar is not just about specifications, it is about craftsmanship and integrity. For enthusiasts, the Mustang GTD represents more than a car, it is a turning point. It shows that American performance culture has matured, adopting science without losing emotion. It proves that passion can coexist with precision. As the project neared completion, excitement grew across the automotive world. Could this be the moment when an American badge finally stands shoulder to shoulder with the icons of Europe? That is the question that fuels anticipation. Yet beyond performance and pride, there is also curiosity. What will the success or failure of the Mustang GTD mean for the future of performance vehicles? That question leads us into the final segment, where the focus shifts from engineering to impact, from how it was built to what it could change. The 2025 Ford Mustang GTD now stands as a living experiment in what American engineering can accomplish when ambition outweighs limitation. Beyond the technical brilliance, its impact stretches into culture, market perception, and the very definition of performance identity. The Mustang GTD challenges old assumptions that American cars are only about straight-line aggression. It reframes the conversation toward precision, endurance, and global competitiveness. When enthusiasts first saw the GTD, reactions split sharply. Some viewed it as a bold reinvention, proof that Detroit could match the world's elite. Others questioned whether this level of exclusivity betrayed the accessible spirit of the Mustang name. Ford anticipated that reaction. In fact, they designed the GTD to be provocative, to spark debate about what progress looks like. The Mustang GTD does not replace the traditional Mustang, it expands the lineage. It creates space for an entirely new audience, those who respect the badge but demand world-class execution. The pricing alone, hovering beyond $300,000, ensures rarity. Yet that rarity gives it symbolic weight. It tells global manufacturers that American design can compete not through imitation, but through conviction. The GTD's launch also signals a shift in Ford's broader strategy. This car was never meant to generate mass sales, its value lies in influence. Just as concept cars preview future trends, the Mustang GTD demonstrates technology that will filter into more accessible models. Active aerodynamics, predictive cooling systems, and advanced composite structures are all stepping stones for the next generation of performance vehicles. The lessons learned from this car will shape Ford's design philosophy for years to come. Its existence forces engineers and executives alike to ask bigger questions about sustainability, efficiency, and driver engagement in a rapidly electrifying world. The GTD's combustion heart may be one of the last of its kind, but its engineering lessons will outlive it. What makes the Mustang GTD so significant is not only that it competes with high-end rivals, it also redefines what American luxury performance can mean. Historically, luxury in American vehicles focused on comfort and size. The GTD fuses luxury with athleticism, turning craftsmanship into a performance tool. Materials serve purpose, weight savings are aesthetic in themselves. Inside, the sense of quality comes not from ornamentation but from tactile precision. The switches, the textures, the steering resistance, all contribute to a unified sense of intent. This is what European manufacturers have long excelled at, and now Ford joins that conversation with authority. For drivers, the Mustang GTD offers an experience that feels both familiar and revolutionary. It still carries the heartbeat of a V8, it still delivers the satisfaction of commanding torque with your right foot. Yet, the control, feedback, and composure are on another level entirely. The steering feels surgical, the balance is deliberate. You sense the car breathing with the road, its systems constantly adapting. This harmony between muscle and mind defines its identity. The car is not simply faster, it is smarter about how it applies its force. Critics may argue that no matter how sophisticated it becomes, the Mustang name will always evoke muscle car nostalgia. But that is exactly the point. The GTD proves that evolution does not require erasing history, it requires interpreting it through modern tools. Each rev of the 5.2-liter engine carries echoes of the first-generation Mustang's rebellious tone. Each lap on a test track redefines that sound in the language of aerodynamics and telemetry. This continuity between past and future gives the GTD emotional power beyond its numbers. It is not only a machine, it is a message about growth and confidence. The cultural significance of the Mustang GTD also extends internationally. In Europe and Asia, American cars have long been admired for character but dismissed for refinement. The GTD disrupts that stereotype. When it laps European circuits or appears in luxury showrooms, it demands to be evaluated by performance, not by nationality. That shift in perception can open doors for future collaborations, investments, and respect within motorsport circles. The car becomes a soft ambassador for a new era of transatlantic automotive dialogue. Economically, the GTD's limited production strategy creates demand through scarcity. Each unit represents not just a sale, but a statement piece. Owners will likely treat them as functional art, yet Ford insists it was designed to be driven. The durability tests and real-world calibration ensure it can handle repeated track use without compromise. That balance between collectability and usability is rare. It transforms the GTD from a showpiece into an experience. In the long view, the Mustang GTD might be remembered less for its lap times and more for its philosophy. It stands at the intersection of tradition and transformation, showing how an American icon can embrace the future without abandoning its origins. It challenges the next generation of engineers to think bigger, to take risks, and to blend emotion with intelligence. Whether future Mustangs are powered by combustion, hybrid, or full electric systems, the GTD sets the standard for how they should feel: connected, purposeful, and confident. The legacy of the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD will not just be measured in sales or statistics. It will be felt in how enthusiasts talk about American performance for decades. It has redefined what is possible when courage meets craftsmanship. As we close this chapter, one final question remains. What happens when the rest of the world finally sees the Mustang GTD not as an underdog, but as an equal contender? That question will shape the legacy of this car and the direction of every high-performance project that follows. And that brings us to the closing thoughts, where the story of the Mustang GTD comes full circle, from ambition to achievement, and from competition to transformation. The 2025 Ford Mustang GTD completes its journey not as a concept or experiment, but as a declaration. It stands as proof that an American manufacturer can build a machine capable of rivaling the most celebrated supercars in the world. From its 5.2-liter supercharged V8 to its carbon fiber structure and transaxle design, every choice made for the Mustang GTD reflects intent. The goal was never to imitate, it was to innovate. And in doing so, Ford has reshaped the narrative of what the Mustang name can mean. For decades, the Mustang symbolized accessible power and freedom. The GTD expands that legacy into something far more complex, a fusion of endurance racing intellect and road-going passion. It does not erase the past, it refines it. The GTD's presence signals that performance is not confined to one continent or philosophy. It demonstrates that American design can embrace precision without losing emotion. This is what makes it special. It balances brute power with aerodynamic grace, tradition with innovation, accessibility with exclusivity. That balance defines the future of performance cars. The Mustang GTD will inspire engineers, designers, and dreamers alike. It shows that true progress comes from taking risks, from asking questions no one has asked before. It challenges the idea that heritage limits evolution. Instead, it proves that history can be a launchpad for transformation. Whether or not it conquers every circuit it faces, the GTD has already achieved something greater. It has changed expectations. When the roar of its engine echoes down the straight, it carries decades of American ambition distilled into one moment of clarity. In that sound, you can hear the past, the present, and a glimpse of what comes next. The 2025 Ford Mustang GTD is not just a car, it is a milestone in motion. It reminds us that innovation begins when confidence meets creativity, and that sometimes, to move forward, you have to challenge everything you thought you knew. This story of the Mustang GTD closes where it began, with a question of possibility answered by performance. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on which performance legend should take the spotlight next.